We got Wes Patterson joining us, world long drive, golf business entrepreneur, and of course, friend of mine and new friend of the show. Wes, thanks for coming on and joining us. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, as you can tell by the background. Beautiful Florida, beautiful weather down here in South Florida. I'm excited to be a part of it, boys. Let's do it.
Dude, I tell you what, I flew back yesterday. I was down there. We got to hang out a bunch, do a bunch of cool stuff. We'll get into some of that. But I was getting out of my car last night, grabbing my suitcases and things, and almost slipped and broke my neck because we had some sort of an ice storm and there is just a sheet of ice covering everything. So as I look at your beautiful South Florida background, it makes me question once again, what the hell am I doing here in the Midwest? And I think I might do a little better down there.
I'll be joining you soon, Wes.
Dude, hey, come on down. That's what I did 7 years ago. I was down here in December, and I called my wife, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Let's move to South Florida. We did 2 months later. So
where'd you move from? Where were you at before then?
Well, we were in St. Louis. My wife's from St. Louis. I grew up in Memphis, but we were at St. Louis at the time, and it was similar weather. Chicago, like 20 degrees, and down here it was 80 degrees in December, and I was just like, what the hell are we doing, man? So she found an apartment in like 2 weeks, so kind of had to do it.
Once you sort of open that door, it was easy to find a place. I imagine.
Best decision we ever made. Very blessed to be down here.
I'll tell you what, I've known Wes for quite some time, and I've golfed with him in the past, but we got to play some golf this week, and I will tell you what, guys, it never for a moment ceases to amaze me how far this dude can hit the ball.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how does that feel to watch?
It's unbelievable. There was a point where, we were playing a hole. It was sort of a dog leg right. There was some water. We had some wind in our face. And I was like, oh, that water's easy. Like, I should be able to put it right over it. I hit a great shot. Felt good to me. Wind in our face. I don't even get over this, pond or whatever. Wes steps up and hits. Not only is he past the pond, not only is he past the fairway, he's in the fairway beyond the hole. He hit the ball so far. I'm like, dude, no joke, probably 120 yards past my best hit. Wes, I gotta know, at what point did it occur to you, or did you realize that you could hit the ball a mile?
So I will tell you this. I think my first drive over 300 yards is when I was 10.
Jeez.
So,
wow.
The old school, remember the very first ping driver, the big ones that are like the 380 cc. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, first drive probably over 300 is around 10 years old, gambling with my dad and his friends out there. So I've always hit it far, and then decided to make a living doing it a few years back. So it's nice to make a living on one club. I just turned 36 as of today.
Happy birthday!
Well,
I should have shaved. I look a little bit younger when I get shaved, but yeah.
Yeah, we were just reviewing Keegan Bradley's mustache. I don't know. Is that something you've considered at any point, getting the strong power stash going?
Yeah, my prior life, I was a professional baseball player, and we try everything, especially if you're in a slump down there. So I won't get too far into it, but I've tried everything. Let's just leave it at that.
I told you.
Wes, what's your fastest ball speed, sir?
227.
Oh my God, that's insane.
That was a few years ago.
We had a chance yesterday. Wes and I were doing a little bit of filming in the SoFi Center. That's still getting cut together. It'll probably be out next week. But Wes steps up. I mean, I don't know if you were golfing at all in the morning beforehand, but I didn't see him take any warm-up swings or anything. He steps up. First ball he hits was, in fact, 20 miles an hour faster than any other player of any match on TGL so far. It was just first swing of the day.
215.
I mean, Wes, do you wake up warmed up? Does it just run through your veins?
I just roll out of bed 200 ball speed, but yeah, it's catching up to me, man. I had a little coming to Jesus moment this year. I'm like, I actually got to train a little bit harder, because the older you get, you start to hurt a little bit more. But yeah, I think we were got up to 215 yesterday in SoFi, Dan.
Just flying, and the sound of it hitting the screen sounded like I don't know, some sort of shotgun going off.
We won't talk about the snap hooks we're hitting again more.
Duck.
Well, so
I did hit one ball that had higher ball speed than the yardage it actually went, because it's not it so far. So, but we get 5 mulligans in my sport, so that's part of it.
So in your come to Jesus moment and all that, what about, fatherhood? You're a dad now, you're farther along in your career as an athlete. How has that, changed things, changed the dynamics of still pursuing a sport, but doing the dad thing?
Yeah, man, it's, I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but puts everything in perspective, man. It's like my little girl, I can go out and come dead last in a World Long Drive in, or I could go win the biggest title, and she doesn't care less. She couldn't care less. She is, all she cares about now is telling dad no. So she loves it. So it does put it in perspective, but also I love how it, you're strategic with your time now. And a lot of times when you're younger, trying to get into professional sports, you feel like you got to practice all day long, every day, or feel like you're getting passed up. But now you can be strategic in what you do and really get the job done. So it's opened my mind to a lot of things.
In the pursuit of hitting the ball a mile, is that, because I've never trained to try and hit the ball that far. You could probably easily tell from the way I hit the ball yesterday. But do you have to incorporate the rest of golf in that, or does hitting wedge shots have nothing to do with pounding the ball 1.5 miles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a unique person in the long drive world. I mean, I do play golf. I did play golf at a high level. I do play a lot of high level amateur stuff now. So it's like I enjoy playing good golf. So I would say yes. Anytime you're moving a club and hitting a golf ball, solid and working it both ways and hit it straight, yes, you're working on long drive and center punching the golf ball. But there's some other guys that are in the sport would tell me that I'm completely lying to, and you should just go, full send it 24/7. So I actually got yelled at by a PGA Tour professional once. My buddy Eric Cole, he was like, I flighted a wedge in there, and he was like, "You're not working on your sport, dude. You should be hitting a wedge as far as you freaking can every time." So I guess it depends who you ask. But I like to play good golf. But I think anytime you're working on center punch in a golf club, you're working on hitting it further.
Is there something satisfying about out driving some of these tour pros that you're out playing with?
I mean, it's definitely fun looking back. I've been very blessed to play with some guys that are up there, Dustin Johnsons of the world, and be able to out drive them by 40, 50 yards. But when you get down to it and you're paying off the bets and they beat you by 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 10 strokes, you can't really yell too much. But I definitely get in there a little bit, and it's fun putting some yards on them. But and I will say this: there's the guys that really appreciate long drive the most is the PGA professionals, because they get the science behind it, the method, the madness of how to hit the ball far. So I would argue they're probably our biggest fans.
What is your favorite speed training drill that I could associate into making my ball speed go over 165? Because right now I'm not rocking over 165 too often.
First of all, 165 is pretty close to tour average, so that's moving it a little bit. But the favorite tool or favorite drill is what you're asking.
Yeah,
for.
like what's your my favorite is to go into the pool and then I swing as hard as I can with the water. You got to have nobody in the pool, otherwise you're just making a mess in front.
You look weird.
Yeah, you look, oh yeah,
dude,
100%.
I tell everybody this. I mean, if 2 to 3 times a week, just go grab 100 golf balls and go out to a range and just full send it as many times as you can. Don't care where it goes. Just swing as hard as you can. It's kind of like pushing yourself in the gym. You don't know what you got till you push yourself, and that kind of you just gotta swing as hard as you can, because your body doesn't know how fast it can work unless you push it. So that's my first step right there.
I'm
just
doing
go
right after we're done here.
You gonna do a little speed training?
Without a doubt. He's got me all jacked. Well, when I hear 220 something, my mind broke. And I'm like, I want to, that's amazing. Motivated. Let's just say I'm motivated right now.
See, Wes, look at this. You're inspiring right here in this very moment people to get out and start swinging the club faster.
I've never had that.
Inspire the youth, my man. Inspire the youth.
Wes, what is the fastest ball speed you've ever had?
Fastest one is 227. I want to say the fastest ball speed world record now is like 245. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, is that one big tall dude?
I think it's Sam Ostanak. Ansonaggio.
246.
I don't know how to say his name. 245. Can you imagine that?
So, question for you on the equipment side in achieving these speeds. We see some of these guys, they've got like, I don't know, ladies flex shafts, and other guys have much more of a firm, extra stiff shaft. What is your sort of theory on that, or what route do you go in terms of the flexible or stiff shafts?
That's a great question. So when I first started in 2018 was my first full year. 2017 World Championships was my first year, but everybody was using like 3-4X golf shafts. Now on a CPM level, so CPM triple X is like a 300 CPM, right? Now they're using like 190 CPMs, which would be, a senior flex, a ladies flex, or even weaker than that. So I tend to lean towards a little bit stiffer shaft than the most of the guys out there, but correlating back to my past, yes, I'm using a shaft that's 10 times whippier than I used to. So it's changed a lot. Everybody, you get, the equipment's gotten so good that just about anybody out there that has a little bit of speed can really can push the equipment to hitting it far now. It's almost not as fun. Everybody swings fast, to be honest with you.
We were having some fun, as I said, in the SoFi Center, hitting some balls, had a little challenge going on. But Wes, you brought up such an interesting point. You thought, man, the SoFi Center would be such a great location for long drive events. I mean, why do you think that sets up so well for that?
Dude, it's absolutely perfect. And I'll be the first one to tell you, long drive on TV, it's hit or miss. I wish we could portray the sport a little bit better on TV, but when you go to a live event, like Dan, you went to Kingsport, there's 1,000 people there. We had this arena built. There's some energy there. It's so much more fun live. And, when we have the big events like that, like Kingsport World Championships, they build these arenas, they have loud music. They really try to create that atmosphere that TGL and SoFi is doing for the PGA Tour. So, I mean, that place is perfectly set up for us. And I got some ideas in mind. I got some pretty good connections in the world. So we're gonna try to push maybe get something in SoFi soon.
I tell you, that would bring me back. I mean, because I love the TGL thing. I love the whole build out, the setup. I think it's so fun. It's such a new addition to the world of golf. And now to expand on that even into long drive, I just think it would be absolutely so fun.
Listen, the palm trees is why you want to come back.
That's it. I say, the golf is the excuse, but it's the lack of ice storms is really what's drawing me. Wes, so you were down, you actually you've been to a couple TGL matches. What is your take on that? Overall, this sort of new revolution in the world of golf. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What are your takeaways from this whole emergence of TGL?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I love that they were trying something different. I'm a big golf fan. A lot of people, haters on LIV, they have to be LIV or PGA Tour. I just love golf. And I love that they were trying to do something different because the world of golf has changed. I mean, we play golf with Grant the other day, Horvat, and like YouTube golf is so much different than professional golf, and people are leaning towards that. So being able to change or do something different to try to incorporate the masses of golf has been awesome. Seeing it come to fruition, being down here in South Florida last year, we had a tornado that ripped off the roof of it. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah,
league was supposed to start last year, and when that roof got ripped off, I was like, "There's no way this is actually happening." They're going to axe it, blah blah. Missing the momentum, and to see it actually come to fruition has been the coolest part. I will say this: going in and hitting like we did compared to watching is a lot more fun, and also. Gives a good perspective because, dude, it's hard to chip around there, man. You can't spin the ball. Like, it gives me a newfound appreciation to those boys out there because it's not easy.
Well, I couldn't agree more with you, though, that this innovation is fun and it's fun to see evolve. And I'm right there with you. When that news came out that their big, blow up tent thing that this thing was supposed to be in, it did. It seemed like, this all was coming together. There's going to be this new simulator league. And then the whole original SoFi Center blows away like in a tornado storm. And I agree with you. I really never thought it was going to redevelop all of its momentum all over again. But I think in some ways it was the best thing for it. I felt like they were rushing it. There was all this PGA versus, LIV Golf stuff happening, and they felt like they needed to do something. Let's get this product out there. And they didn't. And the fact that they went back and sort of drew up this much bigger plan, this elaborate SoFi Center that it is now, I mean, I don't think that it would be what it is maybe in that old facility. I just think that it was sort of this wild blessing in disguise for this idea they had.
No, 100%. I agree. It's just seeing the different what they changed. It was supposed to be a big bubble, right? And now it's a really an arena that's something state of the art, man. It's really cool to be in there, and hopefully we can go hit some more in there. But long drive event, that's my plan. That's my plan next time. People are like, if I go to Augusta, I'm playing the next time. The next time I go to SoFi Center, it's got to be a long drive event.
Well, I'll be the referee on the field for that one. I don't know.
I mean, you got a pretty good arm with throwing the flag and the hammer. So
I don't know if you guys saw that. It's video Wes threw up there, and he was doing some chip shot, and I just whipped a hammer flag at him, just straight up, like, hammer, come on. The lights didn't all go.
Missed him completely.
No. I hammered him with it.
He hammered him.
No,
he got you good.
Drilled me right in the stomach. It was like, I mean, he might be in the bullpen for the Cubs this season.
I feel like maybe next time we come back down, Wes, instead of the competition thing we did this last time, it maybe more needs to be an instructional thing. You know what I mean? Maybe learn some of these speed training skills firsthand from you.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, can you afford it, Dan?
Hey, Gary, can I borrow?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, we go way back. I'll help you out, buddy. We go way back.
So, Wes, I got a question for you. It seems like almost every week in the pod, it comes up as far as LIV or PGA or combining and all that stuff. So, where do you sit? Are you more of a PGA guy? Are you more of a LIV guy? And also, what are your thoughts on them combining and stuff like that?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I love golf in general. I probably lean a little bit towards LIV now because I know a lot more of those guys. Being down here in South Florida, a lot of those guys live here. And knowing Bryson, who came in the long drive for a short period of time, and how awesome a dude he is. So, I really enjoy those guys. But also on the PGA Tour, we have a bunch of those guys that play at my club at Tequesta. So I'm going to say I plead the fifth on which one I lean towards. But do I think they need to figure out a way to get back to playing together? Yes. I think it's better for the game. And I think, I could get really into the weeds in this, but they need to get back together, and I think they will pretty soon. I think the writing's on the wall.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think it was almost this important breakup. Like, by them splitting up, it forced everybody to relook at pro golf, relook at the purses, relook at the sort of the structure of the whole thing. But now that we've gone through that learning exercise, okay, let's all kind of bring it home. I think that would be the best for all of us.
No, for sure.
Especially in terms of viewers, you know what I mean? I think people aren't super engaged to pro golf right now. I mean, do you think?
I feel like they can't be big viewers of golf because it's so political. It's like, I can't choose a side because somebody else is going to yell at me on the other side, type of thing. So I think a lot of that wore off on some people, and then they stopped watching it. But let's just be honest, man. Like the product on TV for like the PGA Tour is not as good as it has been, and then LIV Tour is still trying to figure it out. So it's just, that's why people are leaning into YouTube golf and watching me and Dan hit balls in TGL.
Well, regardless of whether or not the pros are having fun, we definitely are. I mean, obviously Wes is a pro, but we're referring to the tour, not the long drive at the moment. But, Wes, I tell you what, man, it's fun hanging. I appreciate you coming on. I can't wait for us to get back out there and hit them again. And like I said yesterday, I said maybe I would do better in not world long drive, maybe like world mediumist drive. I don't know if they're going to have a competition for that. I'd fit in a little better there. But again, hey, Wes, how do people find you? How do they follow you? What's your Instagram? Where can people see more from you?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram is Wes Patterson Golf, and then also do a lot on the Par 4 streaming app. It's a new platform that is like Twitch for golf, so check it out.
Oh,
Par
cool.
4.
Really?
It's sick. Yeah, look up Par 4, PARFOUR. It's a sick new app that I'm part of and been working on. And so, yeah, Wes Patterson Golf on Instagram, and check out Par 4.
Yeah, I
I'm
will tell
excited
you,
to hear about that.
it is very cool. I had a chance to take a look at it, the PGA show, and it essentially, I mean, it would be like if you were to take TikTok live and then what a golf tournament sort of broadcast looks like, and you bring them together. The scores are on it. People can follow the map of the course, the whole thing. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, you build your own PGA Tour Live, man. It has your own GPS. I mean, you can turn it on and off, but people can see you, like where you're on the golf course. They can see how far you're from the pin. They can see your scorecard. There's live leaderboards. You can build your own tournament, and there's also gambling is being incorporated soon. So hopefully we'll take over the golf world and can be the next sponsor for you guys.
Well, we'll have to put our next round out there on there. We should go live on there.
Ninja just that's crazy. That's awesome. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. You guys check it out.
Awesome. All right, Wes, appreciate it, man. I will talk to you soon, and enjoy that beautiful weather you got right there behind you.
All right, boys. I'll send some videos of me hitting some balls today.
Let's go. All right.
See you, boys.
Wes Patterson, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
I'm excited about that app.